Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Teachings of Joseph. I'm Cindy Edison. Today is January 30th, 2022. And if you are thinking that time appears to be speeding up a bit, you're right. As we make our way through this shift in consciousness, hopefully with the shift in consciousness, it is speeding up because time, doesn't exist in the spiritual perspective, only in our human perspective. So we are accommodating, let's see, the shift by way of our vibration, if you're paying attention. If you are resisting it, then you're feeling that too. And you are, what some would say today, taking yourself down a rabbit hole, because that means that you are rallying or choosing to remain in the third dimension. The fifth dimensional vibration, that Joseph is representing for us, is available now for us to experience, but it comes to us by choosing it consciously. How do we do that? We choose from the space of alignment, right? So, and the more we do that, the more awareness we have of who we really are. So as more light pours into our planet, more of the contrast is being exposed. So remember, there's always balance in the universe. This is what Joseph has referred to many times over as the choosing ground right now. We are in a conscious, moment by moment choosing arena right now. We've referred to this as a carnival, right? Because it's illusion. The third dimension is basically made up of illusion, which is really, from our perspective, out of alignment manifestations. They don't really exist in the space of alignment, and the space of alignment is who we really are, which is why we talk about it incessantly, because that is also where your eternal path as the human aspect of your soul is sitting. And when we're in alignment, we are on that pathway. So today I'm going to show you a visual that Joseph gave me. They actually started presenting this to me about a year ago. So take a look at this visual. This was the first one that they offered me. And come to find out, it's really a zoomed in view of the one I'm going to show you in a minute. So if you look at this, you can see that this V shape represents the outskirts, I'm going to say, of the third dimension. And you can see the human aspect at the bottom there in the blackest black portion of this, the darkness, the beginning of that human aspect. We're going to talk about that in a second too. And the one further along where he is light gray, his image has taken on the vibration in which he is experiencing. Okay? So just look at that visual for a second. The V represents the expansion of the awareness that we walk through as we walk through this third dimension. Okay? So at the bottom, we're in the 3D denseness. And at the top, where there is no denseness at all, that's the 5D awareness, the fifth dimension where the new earth is. Okay? So just take a look at that for a second. You can also see that in this depiction of the human aspect who has walked from the darkness to the grayed area and ultimately will end up in the fifth dimension there, you can see how his physical body is a reflection of the vibration of where he is, okay, at any given time, okay? So now I'm going to show you what this ultimately evolved into, okay? So let's take that down, and now look at this. So this represents the bird's eye view of the eternal pathway of the human aspect. Okay? I'm going to break this up in pieces for you in a moment. But if you see that human aspect down in the middle, in the darkness, and you can see he is the same guy that was in the darkness on the first example I showed you, okay? And there he is at the top, the same guy, okay? A physical manifestation of the vibration where he is, okay? So just look at that chart for a second. So now I'm going to remove everything except for what I refer to as the tunnel, which is a bird's eye view of the third dimension. And we are and have been walking out of this dimension on our eternal pathway since we arrived here. And that original human aspect there down in the center, I'll pop him in there, here he is. That original human aspect was a manifestation of an aspect before us, okay, created for the purpose of experiencing this dimension, just as we are in the process now of creating our new human aspect who will live in our next dimension. The next one we get to experience as the human aspect of the soul. Okay? I know it can be a little confusing, but hang with me here. So, now I'm going to leave him there, but now I'm going to add these, what appear as red circles, to the top of this bird's eye view of the third dimension. These circles represent vibrational timelines, or vibrational lifetimes, okay? This is what we experience when we have if we get to experience a past life regression. Every lifetime we have chosen to be here is experienced on a different vibrational timeline. And the timeline that we are choosing to experience is a direct reflection of the awareness that we have expanded into, and that awareness is the awareness of more of who we really are. Okay, so now I'm going to put this progression of the human aspect on top of this chart so you can see this. Okay, so this progression of one human aspect is just an example. First of all, we have all had many thousands of physical experiences in the third dimension of contrast. If I was to put a red circle for every lifetime you've been here, we'd see no separation. We wouldn't be able to decipher what lifetime is what lifetime, because this is over a period of many thousands of years. It is a walk toward love. So anyway, so this one guy, that one guy down in the center there, every time he comes back, he experiences a new physical lifetime. And that physical lifetime is expanded within the vibrational timeline where he is. The expansion is the expansion of his awareness of who he really is. You can tell by the makeup. I tried to give them each a visual of their vibrational makeup, which of course isn't easy in Photoshop. If you look at this, you can see that each one of those depictions of the progression of that human aspect is the same color as the vibrational timeline that he is experiencing. Okay? That means the more time he spends coming back, leaving, coming back, leaving, coming back, leaving, every time we leave here, we take with us all of the love that we have experienced. We've added to our soul's vibration, right? That's what we take with us. The human physical vibration remains dormant when we leave here. Okay? It remains dormant. That's how we can go back and visit those timelines. And we do that through a past life regression, right? That's how we expand these aspects. Some call it healing. We call it expanding beyond that vibrational timeline. And the expansion, again, is the expansion of the awareness of who we really are. If you'll notice, I gave each of these aspects an outline, a white outline that represents their soul's vibration that they carry with them every single time they visit, right? That is our major portion of our vibration. And every time we come back here, every time the soul focuses on the human aspect and we return, right? We stand up where we left off. And the awareness that has been added to us comes from our soul's expanded vibration. Okay? I know it can be confusing. Maybe you have to listen to this a couple times. It's a little difficult even to discuss it because remember, I get this information vibrationally, and trying to put this in a visual took me a while, to get it to the point where I thought I could explain it to the degree that it could be understood. I think visually it speaks for itself. Okay, so this is one human aspect who has advanced, progressed, evolved through all the frequency bandwidths of vibrational timelines in which we were a vibrational match to. Okay, so when we talk about vibrational agreement, we're talking about our physicalness too. So if you notice, the guy at the top, the really light gray guy, that's where we are today. This is the opportunity we have today. And that last ring represents the opportunity for us to step over it into the new earth vibration where there is no more contrast. Okay, that's our potential today. So, Joseph has referred to that human aspect, the current human aspect, depicted by that guy at the top there, right, as the captain of our human aspect team. Okay, so let's say this visual represents my human aspect coming up from the center of the third dimension. Okay, every single one of my lifetimes, and I have been here thousands and thousands of times, all the vibrations that I have experienced, that you have experienced while visiting and playing in the third dimensional realm, the physical vibrations are ongoing. They are what make up our physical human vibration. Our physical vibration is always our physical vibration, but it too evolves, right? Which is why you see him getting lighter. He's getting lighter and lighter and lighter. Every time we come back here, again, we have more of our soul's vibration as part of our physical makeup. We are always blended, always. So the more we know about who we are, which is the awareness of our soul vibration, the more we advance, right? The more we evolve toward this new earth vibration. So here we are, right there. That's where we are on our eternal pathway, okay? So this should give you at least a quick idea of this pathway that we've been walking for eons of time. Again, I'm going to stress this, that these red circles are only indication of the progression. If I were to lay out each one of those, you can see like it's almost like an inch between this last one and the one before it. There could be 1,000,000 lifetimes in between there, experienced on completely different vibrational timelines. And every time we come back, we experience more of who we are. That's the purpose. That's why we're here. So we now, as the captains of our human aspect team, our job in this lifetime is to bring our aspects, who are vibrations now, still active within us, right, into alignment. That's what we're doing here. Some would call it clearing out the energy. We refer to it as expanding each aspect into into alignment with who we really are, which is who we are today. If that guy on the third timeline down there had a bad experience and he left and out of alignment, when he left, that vibration of that bad experience is still with him when he comes back on the next timeline. So it's our job to expand him, expand that vibration, or move that vibration into alignment. So it becomes the in alignment physical vibration of the human aspect. Is that making sense? I hope so, because from the soul's perspective, it does make sense. It is the evolution of the aspect, the physical aspect of the soul. And every time we evolve, the universe evolves. Because every time we evolve, our soul evolves, and our soul is an aspect of God, right? You know that Joseph defines God as the collective soul. So every time you evolve, and when you evolve, you are choosing love over fear. You're choosing your way out of the contrast. And that is by way of choosing from the space of alignment. So we will be discussing this more and more, but this is the main reason I believe at this time that Joseph is here, and that is to assist in the expansion of the physical aspect of the soul. And that is to walk the eternal pathway of the soul in the physical body. I have put a link to a great past life regressionist, Stephen Towill, on my website under the resources tab. If you will scroll down, you'll see him on there. He can help you in moving this vibration forward if you want to do it that way. There are many ways to do it, and that is in the recognizing of our beliefs, our choosing, and when we are choosing from an out of alignment position, we are choosing to remain in the vibration of the contrast. That's why it's so important. That's why we are continuing to talk about in and out of alignment choosing. Obviously, our choices are what manifest into our physical reality. They are the creating points of our physical reality. And we are now in the process of not only assisting in the creation of the bridge that will get us to the new earth by way of our choosing, but also in the creation of our new human aspect who will live there. On top of that, we are also co-collaborating and co-creating the new earth in its physical form. So this is an important visual for you to understand from whence you came, where we all came from and what we're all doing here, and the path that we're walking. Again, we are choosing our way out of the contrast. There's really no other way to move beyond it than to choose to move beyond it. It is really that simple. It's choosing a vibration to create from. Okay, so that's a quick overview of our evolving nature from the perspective of our soul. If you have questions about this, I hope you do, email us at info@theteachingsofjoseph.com. We will answer everybody's question, and I'm going to continue to do podcasts about this from different perspectives. because I know it's a completely different perspective. The whole thing is different. Everything is different now because we are now choosing from a perspective that has no fear. And we've not been in this territory before. Joseph says this is uncharted territory, which is why they encourage us to allow our souls to guide us through this pathway. Okay? Anyway, you guys, I hope this helps you to understand your own progression, and I hope that you will remain with us on this journey. Follow us on Instagram. They are giving us tidbits of this journey. I think of it as dropping breadcrumbs for us to follow. You can follow us on Instagram at The Teachings of Joseph. Also, visit the website, theteachingsofjoseph.com. You can find our books there that will flip you over to Amazon. The Allow Your Soul to Lead series is the foundation for our new earth vibration. It is an introduction to the new perspective. In book 2, I will say this too, in book 2, they took me through a meditation that exampled for me the visiting of another vibrational timeline in order for me to move an aspect forward and to heal that aspect, to expand that aspect into the evolved vibration of who I am today. Okay? Anyway, you guys, thanks for joining us. Email us with questions. We love you. We hope you will continue on our journey with us as we set sail for the new earth vibration. Welcome aboard.